What's up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys all had a good 3-day weekend as well. Got to spend some time with the family, maybe eat out a little bit, do something fun. But we got AJ in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert, Anna. Good morning to Andy, Bill, Cindy, Emily. Good morning to Frank, Jeff, Keith, Lauren, Lydia, Martina, Natalie, Tim. Wendy is in the house. Good morning to all you. Uh, People out on YouTube land as well. Bijal, he's already coming in. He's saying, "Good morning, sir." Spy calls. Yep, they're printing today a little bit. You got Daniel. Good morning to you. All my lurkers in the background on YouTube. That's just not gonna say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah, hope you guys all had a fantastic weekend and ready to go. Man, I like the weekends and like the extra like day off holiday, but then I'm like, can this market open? And then I'm checking futures. I'm like, all right, what are we doing? So we did have some news, obviously. Big catalyst last week that caused a little bit of hiccup and a little bit of red into the portfolios last week was Trumpster saying that we're maybe we should go to a 50% tariff because he's not liking the way some of the deals were progressing, and now he put those on pause for 30 days, so a little extra time. Markets are loving that, and we're getting a boost and a little bit of follow through. The question is this going to be something that lasts? Is this something that we could really get some momentum from? Well, I don't know, but we do have some big earnings this week. Primarily, we do have Nvidia earnings. So if we're going to make a bull run or get some buying into Nvidia earnings, that could be a nice little boost for us as well. But for today, we don't have that much more room to go unless we go really, really big. So the next spot I got is 587.88. Technically got a little bit higher, 588.06. And then if we can get above that one, we got maybe into like this 588.95. We'll call it 589 zone. Somewhere right around there is a big one, and then we're kind of back to retesting this 592.90. So I don't know. I mean, the Bulls get a couple days off in the market. They're sitting there trying to like, I just need to buy something. Maybe there's enough momentum there to carry us through to the downside. And technically, from Friday, it is a green candle. There was some buying, so there might be some people profitable on this gap up. Maybe we see a little bit of selling, but even this gap, technically, was again a retest gap. It's still open and closed lower than the previous day, lower than this monster move. So really, to me, the fact that we're above about, let's see where it is, 584.29. Very, very good for the markets. Just we have to get through a little bit more of resistance, and markets struggling to do so a little bit at pre-market, but pretty healthy, nice looking gap up. Let's see if some of the supports holds. Let's see if there's a little bit of selling. 585.37-ish, 585. Let's go 585.19. See if something like that holds, and then see if we can get some bouncing from that spot from there. Otherwise, something that I'm watching very closely. It's going to take a little bit of time to play out, I think. But, and you guys know I'm not a huge moving average fan. I'm not a, they're all based off of what happened in the past. However, they're really good for momentum. So this is the red one's my 20. So if anybody's wondering, that's my 20. The light blue is my 100. The golden yellow, I guess, orange maybe is the 50. And then the dark blue purple is my 200. So right now we're still a little bit out of whack, but we have the 20 above all of them. That's where I need to be. I need that golden 50 to start crossing that 100, and then we are what's called stacked in the market. So very, very bullish where you have all the moving averages of smaller time frames all stacked on top of the next larger one. Very, very bullish for the markets if we could get that. And again, regardless of news or sentiment, that is enough to maybe cause some momentum. So the last time we saw that really take to effect, well, I guess technically back here we saw a little one where we got the cross. We started getting stacked up here. Nah, we were still above that, so that doesn't count. That never gave us anything too crazy. I think the last one was back here somewhere. So last time we got stacked, I'd say somewhere in November, December zone, and then from that we took off from 430 to nonstop moving all the way up to the six to, well, I guess all-time highs. So if we can get that again, if we can start, and it's not going to be probably today that happens, Although if we get a pretty really positive day, that's enough to maybe start moving that 50 a little bit closer to that 100. But that's the next thing I'm looking for. Could we get that momentum to start sneaking into the market? The reason that's good is obviously I'm not a huge fan of those moving averages, but if we are above all of those and those are all stacked, now all of those start to act as a little bit of resistance on those pullbacks, which you could probably see here. So we see a little bit into the 20, you got to the 50, you got saved by the 100, you got pulled back to the 50, you got saved, you almost made it to the 200, you got the bounce, and they just start working as a little bit of support on the way up. And buying the dip becomes a lot of fun. We'll see if that develops, and it's going to probably take a little bit to play out. But that is something I would be looking for. Q's nice little gap up for today as well, kind of following everything. And again, you got Nvidia earnings, so you have a catalyst in the tech sector for this week. And I think we also have Marvell. I think we also have Dell earnings this week. So big tech week in terms of earnings and nice looking gap. Again, it is a retest gap from Friday. But all of that, even though it's a green candle, there was some buyers, probably a little bit of people taking a stab going into the 3-day weekend, hoping for some good news, which they did get. More impressively, I think 516.20. So I'm not looking for a full-on retest on the Qs. I'm looking for a small little pullback, maybe at open, give some of the profits to some people, and then we start taking off from there. We got 515.97 is pretty much the support I would look to hold. I've got all types of resistance above us. So the first one's 518.26. The next one after that, 518.27. And then I think you start pushing into a major zone somewhere around 520.56. More importantly, this is the little bit of a trap candle for bulls. You even open that candle somewhere around 516.20, and I think we close that candle somewhere around 512.75. This gap takes us above the opening closing of that, plus more importantly, the VPOC of that is 514.59. So if in the future, whether today, tomorrow, we start breaking down, that 514.59 should be a really, really strong support if the bulls can kind of hang into this one. And again, you got that 50 starting to get very close to that 100 as well. So that might give us some momentum into the Qs as well. Emily says, "Hey, hey, good morning. Let's have some fun." I know. I just 3-day weekend. I need the markets open. Otherwise, I go crazy. To be honest, I just go crazy. Bitcoin. Let's see how that one held up over the last couple days. So Friday, decent looking sell off after we just hit all-time highs. Not not too far unexpected. Otherwise, from Saturday on, we've been making higher highs. We've been closing with higher lows as well. We've had some price action kind of all over the place. Today, crypto looks pretty good. If we get a little pullback, see if we can get 109,882 as some kind of support. We will be approaching resistance very shortly. We got 111,244. Anything above that, you're really just looking for that 111,746. We'll call it 750. And I think you're looking pretty healthy for continuation in Bitcoin. So looking pretty fair there as well. Let's take a look. I see some of the tickers came in. So we did cover SPY already. Let's take a look at Dell, DELL. Again, earnings this week. So we'll see. But I was looking at this one earlier, and I like the location kind of that it's opening at. So on at least on this perspective, we are breaking through this 114.68. I think that would be a really, really good resistance if they didn't gap this up. That's where I would draw some kind of resistance. We are above it. Let's see if we get a pullback into that 114.68. It looks really good for maybe a bigger move to the 120.38. Biggest concern on this one is this 117.18, and I have the Lux algo, so it gives me a little volume from a slight longer time. So lots of volume that you are approaching right above you. That might halt it. Maybe that stops us. Otherwise, everything else looks good on it. I just got to get past that 117, we'll call it 32. But we start getting above that, it looks good for the breakout, at least heading into earnings, and then, I don't know, flip the coin on earnings for Dell. But so not too much runway. It's either we have no runway at all. We have $2, which I still like, or we could break through it and you have a monster trade today, which would take you to like this 120. So I do have it pretty high on my list already. I like where it's opening. A little nervous about that dotted line that we're approaching. Otherwise, yeah, I'd rather be bullish than bearish on it. AVGO might be a little bit of a better setup. Let's take a look just because I don't have that dotted line. My dotted line on this one is way down to 171.60. So we're a heck of a ways above that one. Good location. Again, most of this is inside. You do have a lot of green candles in here too. Maybe some people with some profit. You do have a little bit of resistance, I think, all the way to like 234.64. And then I think a big one, 236.38. If the momentum comes in today, you'll probably look at 236.53 or something like that. Otherwise, the next target on that one, if we could get through all that, would take us to like 244.31. Earnings, I think we have a little bit of time on this one. We do. Yep. So we got earnings June 5th. I think that's not mistaken, like 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. But really, really good location for the open. Again, a high wave candle, maybe. Let's put this one higher. I would like to see a little bit of pullback, a little retest somewhere on AVGO, just because I'm not positive we get past 236.70 today. But it could. I'd be willing to try it. Be willing to see if we get past that little bit of resistance. Microsoft MSFT. MSFT opening right into a resistance spot. And a pretty big one too. Let me get some of these lines off the charts. Yeah, this is a pretty big resistance on it. Again, retest gap. Technically, that is a lower. I don't know if I want to treat that so much like a retest gap, but I can't ignore that resistance. Microsoft has a big resistance right here. I'd be careful on this one, and then even if you do break this, I think your next spot takes you to like 457.96. If we start breaking through that, we have a lot of room on this thing. I guess 459.45, and the real target I'd like to hit is about 464.37. So it has some room. I don't think it's an easy path up. This one, I'd probably pass on this one for me. On a swing trade basis, though, if you're in this thing already, I would hold. I think this one still looks like good, still looks like it has momentum to it. For a day trade, I'd probably let this one go because I don't know. There's a lot of resistance. Swing trade basis looks phenomenal, still if you still have it. So that means if this thing pulls back a little deeper than expected, give me the full retest on this one, 451.53. Maybe at that point I can get some decent risk reward on this and continue that momentum. But yeah, I'm gonna hold on that one for now. Palantir PLTR looks pretty amazing as usual. Just does Palantir things. Big resistance on this one, not too far away too, though. This is 128.47, and I like the fact that we're above this 126.73. So small little pullback. I don't want to see anything too crazy. And then if you can make it work to get to, you have about $1.50, almost $2 higher. If you can catch it a little bit lower, and then you're hoping that this thing kind of breaks this 129.86. Big resistance on this one, 129.98. So as soon as we start breaking probably about 130, that will give us the next leg up, I think, on Palantir. So little choppy, still looks pretty bullish though. Does not look like they're trying to sell it. CRWD, CrowdStrike. That one is, yeah, that put a powerful day in on Friday. And we are gapping into what seems to me like all-time highs. Very good if you're holding it. So if that data breach did not scare you whatsoever, that just absolutely clobbered the stock down to like the 200 zone, you're pretty happy. You're pretty thrilled. This is a really good gap on it. Again, I have no targets to the high side. What I do know is that there is a ton of buying since pretty much April all the way up. Not much. You had some even healthy pullbacks, giving this thing some good follow through. So yeah, it looks good. Probably goes higher from here. The question is, what happens today? Well, it is a retest gap from Friday and a pretty good one too. So I would probably, again, I don't know if I'd be buying at open. I am going to put this one higher on the list though. That's for sure. I'm going to watch this one closely. I don't want to go short on it. Let's put it that way. I don't want to be the guy going short. If it does sell off a little bit, come down another $4, something like that, Fantastic. I could look at this one as a high wave candle too. I just don't have any resistance above us. So I'm good if it gives me some kind of a inverted hammer. I could take a break above high wave candle. I'll see if I can take a break above that one. But yeah, I want to go with the momentum on it. And I'd give this one a second or two, but it looks pretty bullish. When he says cash secured put that you had on it, yeah, that's how are you still in that one? There's, how are you not just closed out of that one already and taking your gains? Hood, you probably put a lot of time on that one then. But either way, a win's a win. Robinhood looks pretty good on this gap up. We are at and maybe just a tad higher than it. We might have a good day trade on this one today. Yeah, I like this one. Anything above 65.08 looks pretty good to me. We are at 65.09. And then even more impressive is the fact that we are above all of the recent little sideways chop. We just took a look at Bitcoin. That one still looks like it's still trying to climb. Again, that's going to be good for everything crypto related. Hood, Mara. And Mara had a good buying opportunity on Friday. That started getting hit pretty hard. Um, but Hood, yeah, this looks good to me. I'm gonna definitely get this one higher. Small pullback, but this one I feel like could also be. Do we have any pre-market consolidation we could take a break of? I guess for right now, you're looking at as close as possible to 64.87, and even that, we already just had a pre-market break. We pulled back. That was the retest. So this might open and fly. I'm gonna watch that one closely. Hymns. Hymns, nice gap up on Hymns for today. This one has a decent amount of room to run. I would be looking for as I don't know. I really don't know how this one wants to open. Right now it looks really good. I think the closest you can get to 55.74, the better. Hoping we get some kind of pullback on this one at open. Otherwise, I think your target's 57.72. Gives you a little room to work. The next target, probably about 58.29, should be a big one. So yeah, pull back a little on this one. I'm not as close to a support as I'd like to be. The fact that we are taking out this high wave indecision candle, there was some bulls that already kind of came in on Friday. I think you have a good likelihood that this one can get that retest that I'm kind of hoping for on this one for a trade. Let's get this one higher on the list too somewhere. But yeah, a little bit of resistance. So I'm not eager to jump into it, and it's already had a massive move. Obviously, retailers just absolutely love this thing, and the fact that the market is green is a good sign for hymns. DJT, Trump Media Group. Yeah, I think they were just raising. I think they raised like 3 billion for. Trump met with Michael Saylor, I think, over the weekend. Michael Saylor worked his magic. He's got Trump to say we need to get like another 3 billion in crypto reserves. So they're pumping a little bit on that reaction. You do have that 200 right in front of you. So somebody's target might take you to about 27.16. Big retest gap from Friday as well. I think I don't want to play this one long. If anything, I think this is probably a fade. And if you start closing above that 200 or really above 27.64, that probably sets us up for the next leg. But for right now, I think not being as bullish at open for me, I think would be the best play. Maybe it opens and flies, but just it will do it without me on that one. Uh, CrowdStrike, Hood. All right, there's a couple others like see Bull in the chat. Webull gapping up 26 cents. Again, the earnings weren't really that bad. The revenue in general, compared to still even where it's priced at, is a little bit rough, but pretty good growth, pretty good earnings. So and I have shares. I'm in it for a trade, not a long-term investment. However, give me another couple quarters of really good earnings. Continue I think it was like 32% growth year over year. Continue looking like that, and this thing in the future will be decent. Other than that, you're still below that 200, so that's a little bit troublesome. You're still holding a couple of really nice spots. If we get some kind of like this thing just gets murdered out of nowhere, Watch 1059. That one is a zone, or 1062. That is a zone that really has to hold. We have not retested that one yet. And that one came from pretty much our IPO earnings or release. So we'll see what happens on this one. Okay, location for now. Nothing too crazy. I don't see it as a day trade for right now. But the way I'm approaching it is buy some shares, sell some covered calls, do it enough times, and those shares are free, and then you get to ride this thing out. But yeah, I do like the $20 zone. This is one of those things where I think the momentum, like it's all about, can we squeeze some shorts on this thing? And until we actually start squeezing the shorts, it could take a while. But selling the cover calls on this one, I think, is decent. Otherwise, big spot. If we could get a close at any point past 1355, it starts looking decent. Anything above 1426, it starts looking really good. So we're just kind of in a still a troublesome zone, I think. Maybe a spot to acquire some positions or slowly add to some positions if you like it. But this thing is gonna have to get some work to it. We need the first step for us is above 1274. That is today's resistance, and that would show us a little bit of potential sign. Any CSP candidates? CSP. Oh, credit spread. Is that what you're saying? Um, I don't do too many credit spreads, so that's gonna be in the Tony zone. I know that's one of Tony's go-to. I'm a big believer in the it's got such a high win ratio, but the biggest thing with anything credit spread related is, and that's why Tony's very good at it, is how to hedge when they don't work because a lot of them do like high 90%, 95% win ratio. But the one that doesn't could wipe out a whole bunch. So make sure you fully understand the credit spreads. I don't really do too much. Cash secured puts, got you. Friday would have been a good day to do it. Yeah, I'll let you know if I see any. So far, no. I think not on an up day. I wouldn't do it on an up day. Usually, my rule for the cash secured puts is give me at least three red candles in a row to the downside. That would be, and also I'm going to need something in a fair. The only other one, yeah, maybe there is. Now that we're talking about it, UNH probably still. Again, we don't have three red days in a row, but we do have three, like these all close lower. I would like to see if we could get closer to 276 again, 277. And I did do cash secured puts on this one the first time we were down in the zone somewhere one of these days. If we get some more selling, which is possible, it's just not there yet. I'd wait a day or two, see what happens. Otherwise, today on UNH, we do have a nice little gap up. Big resistance on this one, and it is breakable. We could take this one out. We got up there already on Friday. But watch this 299.68 zone. More or less 300. If we can start getting about above 300, then you got probably about 304.25. I think UNH is one where I don't mind getting filled on a cash secure put, but that would be one of them for me. Tesla could be okay too. And then for levels on today, well, Tesla, yeah. Is it the best place? Probably not. But if you don't mind getting filled a little bit lower, they do have good premium on them. For today, really good gap up. So big resistance should have been 344.60. We are above that. We're taking out that candle. This is the next one with the biggest, highest volume, and that price is 350.17. So for the next move on this one, we need to get a close above 350.17. Then we'll probably see a pullback, retrace of it, and then I think we look to go. But pretty okay gap up, even above the opening price on this one. I think for today, it's done a lot of work since Friday over that 3-day weekend. So my question is on this one, Tesla, do you mind owning it down here at this price, or you're selling puts? So my guess would be lower. I think if you're selling under 315, I think you're good. Give you some time. You also have some support from some moving averages coming in. You could probably go maybe a little further out on those puts because the premium is relatively good. So that would be decent. Mara's a good one too. Mara, if it doesn't gap up like crazy, has decent premium on it as well. All right, let's see. SOXL. Again, with the NVIDIA earnings coming out, this one might be something to watch at least this week. just buy before earnings has been a fairly good, strong play, and this one should benefit from the Nvidia earnings, at least the run up into it. Hopefully, there is one. Otherwise, this one is a good little gap up. There was some buyers stepping in, but for the most part, this is more of a retest gap. We're just retesting into resistance. So be careful on this one. However, if we get some kind of candles that close above 1691, might be your spot to try to get in. Otherwise, I would see if we get a little bit lower, maybe into like $16.05 would be a decent little spot. XYZ. Bijal says double top on hood. Yeah, there is that double top hood, but as long as we open, I think I forget the first numbers of it. Was it 6509 or something? I want to be above 6508, I think, or 6408, whatever the oh 08 was. Then there might be a chance to break that double top. XYZ looks like a good gap up. Again, a little bit of a retest Friday. So this one was bought up on Friday. I think this retest is a little bit more likely. My question is though, do we fully retest? That would come into like 58.90 if we could get it. That would be interesting. We probably could. Otherwise, watch for like the first spot I'd watch is 59.54. If it breaks, then see if we get a little bit lower. But you also have resistance not too far away, $60.90, and then you have a really, really good resistance that we have not retested yet, 62.57. I think that would be your target. Market, we only have like about a minute left, and market is throwing some kind of crazy candles in at the moment, testing with the high wave candles. That actually might give us the 350. We get above that too. We'll see. I'll wait for this market to open. ANET, I know we pulled up, but then we got distracted and did not take a look at. Good gap up, decent resistance we're opening into. I'd give this one a few minutes at market open and watch $93.18. If we get past that, you have a really good trade on that one to like 95.33. But until that, you might be able to get a better price, which would be closer to about 91.88 or full on retest 91.43. So watch ANET for today. I don't know if I'd be too jumping in. CRWV is this CoreWeave. CoreWeave just got a downgrade, I believe. I don't know if it was this morning or over the weekend, but they just had a downgrade. Obviously, just monster run this one has had. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Big resistance though. 110.55. If we could snake above that one, we might have some more room. Otherwise, a little bit of retest I think would be beneficial. Even into like this 104.50 is it is a retest. I don't know how I wish it was lower, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, morning bell has just rang. Everybody in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. Otherwise, you guys are incredible. Be safe in the markets. Short trading week. Tesla's going crazy already, but you don't have to go crazy as well. Be patient, be calm, and collect those R's.